Good afternoon. My name is Kathy Risberg, and I'm so happy to welcome you here today to the Social Justice Alliance Saturday meeting. We meet every Saturday at noon on Zoom, along with Rose Colasino, Kim Garnett, Jonathan Rogoff, and Jessica Motzinger. I want to welcome you to today's event. Again, these are my co-leads, and I'm so happy to serve with them. We are a multiracial, ethnic, generational coalition pursuing a more diverse, engaged, inclusive electorate by educating voters and advocating policies that directly impact underserved communities through empowering, supporting, and elevating frontline groups to achieve economic, political, and social justice. You can contact us at IISJA-Indivisible.com, follow us on Facebook, or follow us on Twitter. Now I'm going to turn it over to Jonathan, who will go through our monthly meeting structure.
Thanks, Kathy, and welcome everybody. Yes, so we have a cadence that we like to do for the various months, so that we kind of cover all the high points each month. Week one, we like to start everything off by listening, learning, and elevating voices from the front lines. This allows us to understand where they're at and for them to understand where we're at and make sure that we're all on the same page at all times and help build some solidarity and build some cooperative goodwill so that we understand where everybody's at when it comes time to vote and we're all all pulling in the same direction. Week two, we call it the Suppression-Free Democracy, our roadmap to 2022. We've been updating the big picture view. We've been doing some letters some vote forward letters. We've done a few other things, actions in terms of that. Most likely, we haven't quite finalized this, but it's looking like for October and November, we're going to do phone banks during that period of time. We need to make sure we're not interfering with somebody else's phone bank, but it's time to get out the vote and make things happen. So this is, so the talking time is over, the talking amongst ourselves time is over, and the time to actually reach out to voters and make that happen is what we want to be focusing on now. Week three is a messaging discussion that Jim and Joyce do a phenomenal job of kind of keeping us all up to date on what's happening at our school, in our schools and school boards and what all is happening with that. They've been great doing that for about a year now. And we get some, a lot of really good participation and stuff with that one. So please, if you haven't come to that, please do. And then week four is typically our voter registration week. Again, whether that's going to continue to be voter registration or whether that's going to turn into phone banks or other stuff remains to be determined. But, you can see how we're pivoting, based on where we are in the election cycle. But yes, please join us and please participate. And by doing it through Zoom, if you haven't done a phone bank before, it's a great way to kind of get involved and do some of that and feel very low pressure and feel a sense of camaraderie. Because people can talk about what kind of responses they're getting and how to address certain things and so forth, in real time as a community. So please join us. And now back to Kathy.
Sorry, here we are today to see what we can do to make a difference in helping everyone realize that voting is their voice. And so we need to make sure we can do what we can do to get the vote out for our November 8th. election. So there are so many resources for everyone. Field Team 6 has been one of our great partners with the Voter Drive in a Box, Voter Drive calendars, and customized voterizers. So all sorts of opportunities here for people to kind of do this on their own. Chicago Votes and Reimagining Democracy has been involved with doing high school parades, college parades, community parades, party at the polls, just to generate that excitement for voting. And IL Vote, there's a great resource here for figuring out how to register voters on your own. And then Field Team 6, again, has so many Twitter opportunities and Facebook and Instagram opportunities to put out some really creative messaging. And they've got the messaging all ready for you. So you just can go to their website. And I think we're back to our resources. But the best resources that we have are the speakers that we have today. And those include Patrick Mead and Dale Nook. So Patrick Mead is a software developer. He's married, he's got 2 kids. His interests are in public policy, STEM, philosophy. He's an amateur political organizer and an animal lover. And he's going to tell us now about his work in Wisconsin, if I'm correct.
Yes, that's correct. I'm going to go ahead and post a link to our event. So thank you for having me today. My spiel will be pretty short. We have an event planned for September 4th, Sunday, September 4th at noon. We're going to meet at the Goodwill in DeKalb, and our plan is to register voters. And this is our second event. We had one in June in DeKalb. And the reason we're doing it in DeKalb and Sycamore, which are joined, is that is Rep. Lauren Underwood's district. And she is a vulnerable progressive candidate. And so we want to throw a lot of energy into her campaign and see her have a 3rd term and keep control of the House. We do plan to, and I say we, I'm a member of Field Team 6 and also Swing Left. Probably not an active member of Swing Left, but I am a member. And but my we is just a group of friends and people we can get to join us, and it's pretty informal. And because Field Team 6 mostly focuses on swing states and a lot of emphasis on Wisconsin, a lot of great work there. But I am in contact with Field Team 6 and they have invaluable lessons to teach. And one of those is partisan voter registration. So wearing the Field Team 6 swag, wearing your Joe Biden hat, your Protect Women's Rights buttons and things like that to attract Democrats and repel Republicans. We'll register anybody. It's everyone's right to vote, but we want to attract Dems naturally, or people at least are sympathetic on the causes. So we'll do some of that. We'll start at Goodwill. We're in a part of DeKalb, which is underserved, a lot of disenfranchised voters. So we'll start there standing in front and we'll move around as necessary. We just kind of adjust to the traffic. I don't know if you had Judy Shatkin speak before, but she was with us last time and she guided us. She is a great organizer and register of voters. And so we'll follow her lead, even if she's not there, and we'll move around as necessary, depending on foot traffic. We'll probably hit a few coffee shops. Some are close to Northern, we'll do that as necessary and see if we can pull in some more voters. But we'll tend to stay in the areas that are lower income and like I said, probably underserved communities. And I think we'll be there till 3. We'd love to have people join us, and we'll try to go back as many times as possible. I forget when voter registration ends in Illinois for the election, so we'll keep that in mind. And as John said, we'll switch accordingly. Our work too. We'll switch to canvassing. And I know there's a lot of work going on in DeKalb. We contacted the Democrats of DeKalb County, and they were doing a canvassing effort the same weekend we were there to do voter registration. So there's just a ton of work. And I think that's really about it. If you have any questions, please fire away.
So Patrick, my mistake, you're in Illinois, not Wisconsin.
Yeah, I'm in Eureka, Illinois, right in the middle of the state, and I'm in MAGA country. So
wow,
I don't fit in. I have a lot of MAGA friends, but we don't share any politics for sure. And
so how does that feel when you're in those types of environments?
Yeah, I feel really isolated. It's tough. I walk my dogs and I see the Trump flags and I see the thin blue line flag, and then I see some that I can't repeat in this company. So it's challenging. And but I mean, I'm never afraid to say what I feel. And sometimes when we're wearing our swag in areas where I know there's a heavy Republican concentration, you wonder, is there going to be problems because I'm wearing my Joe Biden hat? We're going to have issues, but that hasn't happened yet. We've barely had anyone be rude to us. And we always try to be respectful back. And we asked someone if he was registered to vote last time, and he said, yeah, I voted for Trump. And he did the fist pump, and we said, well, good for you that you voted, sir. And so everyone's happy and we're pleasant. And, we're just there to participate in democracy like them. So, but yeah, it's a little isolating, but one thing that's helped me is just becoming an activist. I spent a lot of time on social media initially, angry about Trump taking over. And then I shifted my focus from venting to organizing and participating. And I felt a lot better. I felt empowered even in the worst days of the Trump administration. So it's been a lifeline, a godsend. So
I've always found that to be true, and I know that Bill has channeled President Obama's words: "Don't agonize, organize." And I was just in a conversation with Joyce Brody from the Poor People's Campaign, and she's a pretty amazing person. And so she was saying too, this is all about organizing, not mobilizing. She said, you got to be organizing. So, and I've told my friends who are, tearing their hair out, well, you just have to get involved. This is why I'm with NWSOFA-Indivisible and Indivisible Illinois Social Justice Alliance. I feel like we're doing something. We're motivating people. And I think we're changing hearts and changing minds in all the work that we do, but certainly registering voters. I'm a registrar, but now you're doing it as a registrar, or are you helping people just do it themselves?
I'm helping people do it themselves.
Okay.
And I should mention too, most of my work has been through Field Team 6 in Wisconsin, and like a poll observer, the right word, and registering voters. Now I'm focused on Illinois just because we have some congressional districts that are really in play. Lauren Underwood is a vulnerable Democrat, right. And then the 13th, there's a vulnerable Republican, and I'd like to get involved there as well. So to me, everything's important, right? We have to fight in swing states really, really hard, but also, keeping that, we have 5-seat majority, fighting like hell to preserve a majority. We don't want Kevin McCarthy to be speaker. So that's why I'm focused in these areas now. So I'm preaching to the choir, sorry, but I'm actually getting motivated just talking about it. So.
No, that's the whole purpose of us being together, whether there's 200 of us or 5 of us. I think that fuel, that positive energy of like, wow, you're doing this work and I need to get out there and do the same work, Patrick. We spend a lot of time on Zoom. We need to be out there in the street or at the driver license place like Dale Nook. I could segue from you right now to Dale, and then we could come back and, just have a conversation going on. So Patrick, thank you so much. So our second speaker, we're so pleased to have with us, Dale Nook. During his postal career, Dale Nook was twice honored as Postmaster of the Year for the state of Wisconsin and received numerous state and national awards for his work to promote diversity in the Postal Service. Dale Nook created Grassroots South Shore to combat the Republican Revolution in Wisconsin, started by Scott Walker. We can't thank you enough, Dale, for that. He was the first Democrat of the Year for Milwaukee County. Recently, he formed Indivisible Milwaukee to promote the indivisible mantle and take the country back from the Trump-led Republicans, and in particular, defeat Senator Ron Johnson in Wisconsin and reelect Governor Tony Evans. Those are goals we all want to see accomplished. And now it's Dale.
Yeah, thank you. So I like to collaborate. That's my strategy. And so I had a great time collaborating with all the indivisible groups in Illinois. And so that certainly made Indivisible Milwaukee a possibility, which it is now. And we're also working with Field Team 6 and the League of Women Voters. I'm sure a lot of people are happy to hear that because there's a lot of people like Ed and Jim who support the League of Women Voters. So to give everybody an update, our biggest project and most successful project is the Department of Motor Vehicles in Milwaukee. And we have all 3 covered. The Chase Avenue is primarily Hispanic, and Mill Road and Titonia is Black populations mostly. And thank God for League of Women Voters. They're handling Mill Road for us so we can concentrate on the Titonia and Chase. And I just heard this morning that there's a kiosk at the Chase Avenue DMV when people aren't there. And somebody's wife used it, and I helped her husband get registered today at the farmer's market. But it was nice to hear that they know the kiosk is there and they use it. But it's still good to have people in doing it, because they might not see or realize that they can go over to the kiosk and get it done. So, but that's kind of a nice step. I think there's a kiosk in all the DMVs. So that's a good step forward. And thanks to Indivisible Illinois and other Indivisible groups, we have a lot of people helping us, and we're staffed pretty much all the time at the DMVs. So that's going very, very well. A couple other things are starting up. I was at the farmer's market this morning registering voters. That it's a large farmer's market, covers the whole South Shore suburbs and Milwaukee. And it's really well attended, and it's also a great spot. We were also allowed to do a beer garden in the same park. So by doing this, we're reaching out to younger people. And some of the people I registered this morning were younger people who just moved to the area. So we also are going to have handouts at the farmers market and the beer gardens for information, because people can drop their absentee ballots off at early voting locations, because we lost our drop boxes. But people are kind of confused by that. They look for drop boxes and they go for early voting locations that are no longer there. And so we really have to educate people that they can use early voting locations for absentee ballots, but it has to be during the hours that it's staffed. And and then educating people that they can vote early at the libraries and register and vote the same day. So we're going to have a big push for that starting, well, right after Labor Day. We'll really be pushing. We'll have handouts for people. We're also promoting absentee ballots on the Thursday phone bank, which I give Indivisible Illinois credit for. It's been going on since January. We've got about 5 to 7 regular people, even some people from California. And it really helps to have people that show up every week. And that's going very, very well. And we hope to expand the number of people. And we're using that to encourage absentee ballots. And we're also involved with Saturday phone bank for Central Illinois. And with that, we're doing virtual phone banking for particular candidates. And we have one person who's trying to turn a assembly district in Wisconsin on the phone bank. And I hope to soon have a virtual phone bank link for Medela Barnes for that phone bank. And then we're canvassing, and we really could use help with that. I don't know if it's because of COVID or people being burnt out, or we haven't canvassed for a couple of years, but we really could use more canvassers. And we use minivan. It's real convenient. We're minutes from the I-94 expressway. So anybody that can ask for us to get help would be very much appreciated. We lost our regional organizer for the Democratic Party, and the field people are pretty new, pretty raw, not up to speed. I've been probably a godsend for them, and I'm trying to just make it all work. And in fact, that's why I was a little busy when the call started, because I was showing a new person what to do, and her trainer showed up, and I got that all organized. So I recruited a new person, and I sent her out with a trainer today. So I was very excited about that. So any questions?
Dale, I always have questions. Actually, an offer of help, I always offer Bill's help. I mean, is there more that we can do to promote your need for canvassers?
Yeah,
Are we doing
really
enough?
I send Bill the link all the time.
Yeah.
So we have a mobilized link. I would have liked to have been at the picnic and made a pitch in person, but I had like 5 things going on, including a funeral of one of my best workers from the olden days.
Sorry.
So, yeah,
And-
but I couldn't make the picnic. But I hope it was a picnic pretty good, Bill? Good.
The picnic was great. Bill, you got your hand up. You may speak.
Yes, it was a great picnic, but it was kind of a rain delay. We had a bunch of people canceled the night before and that morning, and then we saw a break in the sun, and we sent out a note that the picnic was on, And I think out of about 200 folks that had said they were going to come, we had about 100, maybe 105 that kind of came through the entire day, much like last year. So it was great. The reason I put my hand up was one of the things that everybody was catching fire at the picnic was, oh my God, we only have 70 at that time, 76 days left, and people were kind of coming to, and so I've actually had 3 people in the last 2 days. One stopped by the house that had to pick up some stuff from the picnic, but spent quite a bit of time. He wanted to know how he could get involved with Lauren Underwood, how he could get involved with Wisconsin in person. He felt that he had to start doing stuff because all of a sudden the time is hitting him. And I got the same message from folks. So, you know, one of the things that we will be doing is sending out pure get out to vote notices to people how to get involved. And I think that'll start to ramp up. And Patrick, I sent out a guy by the name of Jed Wiener's note because he specifically said he'd like to get involved in Lauren Underwood's campaign. I just sent that out for you. But rather than do these one at a time, we'll blast out to our 5,600 members, and no, you won't have 5,600 people show up. But if we get 4 or 5, we're pretty happy campers.
Yeah, if I can,
and we do promote the Thursday call for you, Dale, and specifically in our weekly, and then we promote a Saturday one also that Marcy runs. But I'm not sure if you're tied in with Marcy on the Saturday call. I think it's
yes, I am. I'm tied in with both.
6.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
okay. So,
and those are going good.
Yes.
Things are going good.
Yeah.
If I could, not to belabor the point, but so our regional person, I don't know if she got frustrated or what, but she took another job because they're putting a lot of pressure on her to produce results. And the people that are left are pretty much brand new and not up to speed. And I'm I think they might leave without me. I hate to say it because I'm really tremendous resource and support for them. So I'm just trying to find people wherever I can. And so that's why I'm reaching out. But I'll send you the mobilized link. Is it better to email it or put it on Messenger? The next
email or text. Text is my number 1. Email is my number 2. Messenger is my number 3.
Okay.
So I do get your stuff on Messenger, but I'm not.
Okay, I'll try to do
not
it
real quick.
Text, yeah. So then when the ask comes up, and we're kicking off Labor Day weekend, so then we'll worry about this after Labor Day again. If that's okay. So
yeah, and I checked our list this morning earlier. For the Thursday call, we have 26 people on our list that at one time clicked on that and said that they'd like to be involved. So I'll send a text blast out to them. Just,
yeah, they get a week off.
Contact.
Too. Yeah, they get a week off too for Labor Day. So you can hold off on that for a week. But Mary Lee in particular is a regular. She's really good on both. So and those phone banks are going great. They're just super. No problems. We're hooked up with Lydia from the out of state with the Wisdoms, and everything's going smoothly. So that's we really appreciate that. And I appreciate all the help from Illinois. I don't know if this will come up again. I have a grandson in Andersonville, so I'll come down and talk to any group anytime. Obviously, he's the joy of my life, so we go down there quite often to see him. So, but he's going to be.
We know how that goes.
Yeah, he's going to be 2. He's going to be 2 in October. So he's just a joy. So, but if there's any in-person meetings, I'll be glad to come down and give a pitch. That comes up.
We haven't done that. Maybe Bill, assuming we win the midterms, then we can meet all these folks in person and have a party somewhere at a restaurant.
Yeah, whatever. I know that people don't meet in person, right? Too often. So
people have been. I mean, yeah.
But I'd be
People have
willing to
been.
come down, and like I said, last week there was just the funeral, and then I had to do the staging location, and then I had to be an Irish dance instructor, and it was quite a day.
Dale, you are amazing. Thank you so much. I mean, all the work that you're doing and all the work that Patrick's doing. Yeah, I've not been out canvassing and doing the kind of work you should do. I mean, I did it in 2012. I need to get back out there to do it.
Minivan's a dream. You don't have to go and get the walk list from somebody. And when you're done, you just sync it up. You don't have to bring it back. The organizer doesn't have to enter the data after you're through.
What is that called again?
Minivan, it's just a dream. And then if
Minivan?
if somebody only does half of it, somebody else can go out and finish it. And it's all synced up to a phone.
Oh, great.
Your phone. It's
I'm going to get back to that. Patrick, my dog, is back from the vet. So Dale, could that minivan work for canvassing? Maybe this is an obvious answer, but excuse my ignorance. I'm going to be canvassing for our school board referendum, our local school referendum. And we talked about lists and things like that, but
it you just have to have the organizers, set up the list. I don't know all the details on how that.
do you have a link for that, the minivan, or Patrick, do you know that? There's Carl and there's Annie. How's Annie, Carl? What's going on with her?
Well, you can just download it.
Stomach upset. Thanks, Carl. This is all being recorded for everyone. Okay.
You can
Nothing
download
terrible.
Minivan, the app, and then people just can use their action ID to use it, but somebody has to set up the walk list for you through Van.
A minivan. Okay, this is the van list. Yeah.
So some campaign would have to actually set up who they want you to knock on what
Right.
door.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe the schools, will do that. The referendum committee would do that. So, but thank you.
Yeah. But as far as Minivan, it's just an app that you upload.
Okay.
And somebody wouldn't even have to, we could even send the walk list to people in Illinois, and they can just drive to wherever without even coming to a staging location. The only
Patrick.
thing
Yeah,
with that is you'd have to get some lit to people too, but.
Yeah, Patrick, are you using that? Minivan?
I'm not. It's the first time I've heard of
Are
it.
you using the old fashioned walk list? I like paper.
Yeah, when I canvassed, we had sheets of paper. So
Yeah.
Kathy, I'm using Minivan for Maria Peterson.
Oh, you are?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great.
And
How do you-
Dale, I sync every time I knock on the door. When I'm done, I walk away, I enter the data, I sync it
Sure.
every time.
How do you like it, Jim? I really find it terrific.
I liked the previous version a whole lot better than this new version because it doesn't tell me exactly where I'm at. So trying to find a house and address, I have to sometimes switch back to my maps program to find a
Oh.
house.
Yeah, the one on Apple, I think, is a little more user-friendly than the one on Androids.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So like I said, the one that when I was getting signatures from Maria back in February and March was a lot nicer. And then it switched to this new version.
I used to be a mailman, so I just love it. So when I hit a side street, I put that side street in. Then I go back to the North and South Street, and I can't say enough about it. I love it.
Yeah, see, you're at an advantage that the rest of us don't have,
Yeah.
Dale. I mean, you
Yeah.
are really familiar with the streets and how to navigate all that. I always need a map, when I canvas, I always canvas, with another person. And I was up in Milwaukee doing canvassing for 2012, really enjoyed that, and Iowa. And it was so much fun.
We let people use paper if they don't have a phone or they really want to use paper, but
Okay.
it does help to have been a mailman, though, I gotta admit, it really does. makes a difference.
It's an advantage. You know, we've got other folks who might have questions for you. I don't want to monopolize the conversation. So Stacy and Charles, and we've got Anton came. Anton keeps coming and maybe going. He's not here again. Stacy or Charles, do you have any questions for our speakers?
No, not right now. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, thank you for coming.
Yeah,
So maybe,
I'm in the Skokie Evanston area in just north of Chicago. So I'm trying to be more active with the Evanston
oh
grant.
yeah,
And we do a lot of, I do a lot of postcard writing because I'm not great at knocking on people's doors and talking off the cuff. But I just kind of wonder, I guess I thought maybe this was maybe a training for voters registration. It didn't say that on there, but I was thinking that.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. No, I think you were pretty clear, but I didn't know the difference between being a registrar versus helping people to register. So you can say a little bit more about that.
I'm going to turn that over to Dale. How does that work? You're better able to explain, or Patrick. I mean, Patrick's walking around. He's not an official registrar. I'm an official registrar. These guys are not, because there are tools that just allow people to register themselves, and you just show them the link and they just go and they do it themselves. But Patrick or Dale, either of you want to address that?
I can do it one way at the DMV to save time, because it takes a little time on your phone. We just have them fill out the paper form just like our registrar would. And then we take a picture of their driver's license, and then we hand it into the election commission. And that seems to work very, very well. And then sometimes there's issues of proof of residence or whatever, and then we follow up with those. But we work closely with the election commission, and they like what we're doing, and they bend over backwards to make the whole process work. But it's pretty much just like a registrar would in the olden days in Wisconsin. We used to have registrars in Wisconsin that were trained, and then we did it on paper, and then we handed the paper in. And then the other way is Wisconsin. We have the My Vote WisWGov, and that works out really well. People can register online. So I think it's similar to Illinois. Then you'd have the registrars using paper, right? And then people can do it online, right? Also with Votarizer, is that pretty much?
Right. And Stacy, if you put your contact information in the chat, I will get resources to you, or more information to you, if you'd like. Or I'll put my email in the chat. You can contact me. Okay.
Okay. Oh, that's great. Thank you. Yeah, I think a few years ago, we registered people to vote at like different senior centers and independent living places. So I think that's probably what we did. I helped fill out the paperwork for them. And it was a little more challenging because some people had trouble writing and they didn't necessarily have updated IDs because they weren't driving anymore. And so they still wanted to be able to vote, but then it was a little tricky to know if they had the proper form of IDs or not. But I like the idea of registering people to vote, because then you're having people who are coming to you who want to do it versus I'm knocking on somebody's door and they don't necessarily want to be talking to me. So that's, I think, part of the difference for me.
No, Stacy, that sounds good. We've all discovered each of us has our own comfort level.
Yeah.
What do we like to do? Right. Postcards, right. Letters. I'm going to be honest, and I apologize, Dale and Patrick. I'm joining a phone bank today for Beto O'Rourke.
Oh, great.
In Texas. I'm so excited. And Dale, I now owe you and Patrick phone banking. But there are different campaigns that excite all of us. I've got 9 grandkids, Stacy, and my husband and I in Texas. It really means a lot what's going on down there. And I've phone banked for him before. And so I want Lauren Underwood to be winning her election. And I want Ron Johnson to be defeated. And Mandela Barnes to win. And Tony Evans to continue. So I know I'm obligated as a fellow supporter of democracy to help my friends in Wisconsin. So so it's whatever we want to do. And okay, Bill's had his hand up from that Dale.
Yeah, two questions, one for each of the presenters here. Patrick, are you doing canvassing or are you doing voter registration or both?
Right now, it's voter registration, but I'll switch to canvassing closer to the election. And I'll probably
Okay.
do canvassing in Illinois 14th, maybe 13th, and also Wisconsin.
Okay, great. And then to Dale, I've been hearing, particularly on MSNBC and on CNN, that voter registration has been surging by upwards of 30% for women in red states. And they're saying that those are primarily Democratic voters, primarily because of the pro-choice. Yeah, are you seeing that? Are you hearing that?
I don't think Wisconsin falls into that particularly, but our best result is DMVs, and we're probably going to hit between 2,000 and 4,000 by election day for sure. I might get a couple at the farmers market. You get 20 or 30 at the DMV. It's just, so I haven't seen a surge though from women, which would be nice,
Okay.
but I haven't. Of course, then we're going to be doing the colleges too. And I think we'll see that with the students, the women, young women, students in particular, especially with the new bill for student loan forgiveness. Now you just told me I better make sure I know we're on top of the colleges, but I better make sure we're getting them, so. But as long as I'm on now, the lady from Skokie, Indivisible Evanston is pretty much doing the DMVs, and they would train you, and you could carpool with people. And there's a sign up genius, so it's real easy to get signed up and ask for training. So I don't know if you know Bob and Linda Tate at all they used to be with Indivisible Evanston, but you're not just put out there on your own. You're given training, and you could probably carpool. And it's a great group of people, and they love it. I don't know one person who hasn't done it that just doesn't rave about it. I don't know. They just love it. It's real popular.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to find out a little bit more, and I didn't know who was leading this discussion. I just saw that voter registration. I'm like, oh, I've been wanting to do that, and I keep missing the training. I'm always, they offer one training, and it always ends up being at a time that I can't come. So I will follow up. I'll follow up with them.
Oh, good. You know how to get a hold of them. Those are the people to talk to. Bob and Linda Tate. They'll get you all squared away. So
okay. Thank you so much. This was great. I have to get running, but have a great day.
Thank you, Stacey, for joining us. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And actually, it's my time to thank both Patrick and Dale for coming today. This has been great. As we said, we're here to inspire each other. And certainly all the work that you've been doing so faithfully to save democracy is something that if each of us would do, we'd be in great shape. And I think we will be in great shape because there's so much at stake. So that being said, I'm going to turn this over to Jonathan, who's got a few closing remarks.
Thank you, Kathy, and thank you to our speakers. And yeah, there's just lots of stuff, and we're getting down to the wire here, and it's time to actually drive the vote and get everybody out in the streets. So I'm the one positive from the fact that we don't have a ton of attendance here today is again that hopefully everybody's out on the pavement and hitting, making that happen on a lovely day. So excellent. So thank you everybody for coming, and thank you for helping us figure out where we can put our efforts most effectively, and let's get it done.
great. I'm going to hit the pavement right now.
Take care. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you. Thank you, Dale. Thank you, Charles,
Thank
for
you.
joining us.
Jim's got
And
a
Jim
question.
is always here. Jim, it's a question, Jim, before we go.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to make a comment that we need election judges.
I promised I was going to sign up for that, Jim.
Yeah, do it.
Um,
I mean, we need election judges. We were, you're supposed to have 5 at each polling place, and
Yeah.
for the primary. My precinct only had 3. The other one had 2. So the tech guy had to help that group of 2 out. So we're short in Cook County. We're short election judges, and probably everywhere.
is that something Bill can promote to our group more? Bill, always Bill. Bill never sleeps. He's just always promoting.
No, I was just wondering, is there like a central thing? Could we do one of our 1-minute actions to ask people to call to sign up for to be an election judge? Is there one spot that we could kind of monitor
I
them?
saw a link for that for a sign up. Has the league been sending stuff out, Jim? I think.
Not for election judges, but
No.
I think everybody has to sign up at your like your county clerk website.
I can. Should I investigate that? Bill?
Yeah.
Or Jonathan? Do you know? Okay.
Yeah, because our organization is back end loaded. In other words, all of our events happen in the 3rd and 4th week of the month. Maybe one will happen in the 1st and 2nd. So these next 2 weeks, we're kind of open to put special things out to get people to act. So I just was making notes here on my napkin as to what the different things we could do. But I don't really know what the contact information is on that. So if you can get that to me, Kathy, I would appreciate that.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, the Cook County
look it up.
website right now is, if you're a previous election judge, they're asking for your availability. Confirm that you're available, and they have another option where if you want to work a couple days before the election, you can help out at like a nursing home or something like that. So
These are high paid jobs, aren't they?
yeah, you make about $10 an hour if you're lucky, Bill.
Woo!
Yeah, it's a long day. I mean, on election day, you start at 5 in the morning. You close the polls at 7.
It is a long day.
You take the results in Cook County, take the results over to where we're at, to Rolling Meadows Courthouse, and turn them in. So you're done about 9:30, 10 o'clock. But that doesn't count. You have to spend like 3 hours ahead of that setting up the polling place, so it's ready for election day.
Okay, it is.
So I mean, I'm not. We need election judges. It's hard.
Yes.
I mean, it's a lot of work, but it's worth it.
You can't split that up with someone else?
No,
Half a day?
no.
No,
Interesting.
that would be nice if you could. Well, that's good information. Good information. And we'll pass along.
Okay.
So,
Well, I got some good news, because Rose always says good news. A judge said that people with no arms can have somebody bring in their ballot for them. So
oh, that's good.
that's good news. But they're worried they're going to appeal it, you know.
Do you have any funny election stuff? Oh, I was just thinking of Fetterman and his funny ads. And I just read something about how mockery is, you know, even though that's not a kind thing for us to do to each other, it's a good election tool for some of the stuff that's going on.
It's just like abortion. They don't think through that a 10-year-old will get pregnant, just like they don't think that people are bedridden, you know, that they can't get out of bed, you know. So it's, why do they do things that they don't even think them through? They just do things.
That's the problem. They don't think them through. It's just what's in front of them, just power, just to be in charge. They don't think about the consequences.
Well, hopefully we're getting some relief on this one issue. So we'll see. Stay tuned.
Exactly. Well, Jonathan, any other thoughts? Any tango tips, Jonathan? Can you play us some tango music? We said we were going to play tango music in honor of Jonathan and his performance. Are we still recording, Bill? You can stop us recording if we're still, before I go on.